The Blarnacles, because we're so spread out, I live on the east side and Tam and Ron live on the west side. They said, why don't you come over and have dinner before practice? So that's become a tradition now every week. It's very nice of them, and it's thoroughly enjoyable. And we'll have other members of the band as well show up for dinner. So that's always been a great time to have that fellowship before we practice.
Yeah, this is a great band for having fun. You know, we get together and we have dinner before practice, and we keep things pretty relaxed overall. Where a lot of bands have difficulty getting along, have goals that are very specific, or when you have a vision for how you want things to be, that can cause some difficulty. But this is a group where it really is kind of a bunch of friends hanging out, having fun, and we happen to all play instruments and enjoy playing.
Being in a band with my husband, it's a good thing for a couple to do together, you know, to have something. We practice every night. We watch the news, and then we practice from 7 to 8 every night. It's our routine. And I learn the songs by the music, and he can't read music, so I'll play the song, and then he just figures out the chord changes for the rhythm. So it works out perfect.
Well, I play guitar. I've been playing guitar for, 45 years? Playing guitar for 45 years. And it's pretty much home base. I can also play mandolin. I played mandolin for years in a bluegrass band. And I played bouzouki with this band. So guitar and bouzouki. I've only been playing bouzouki a little while. It's tuned a little different than guitar, and it's tuned a little bit different than mandolin. So it's a little bit challenging initially. I thought it would be a lot easier, but it has a very strange tuning that I had to learn. All of the chords are all stretched out and very weird. And, so that took me a little while to get the hang of that.
Ron brings the drive to the band, I think, with his guitar and bouzouki. He's the main rhythm. Mike on the baron supplements that, but he isn't playing the strict sort of rhythm that Ron is. He's playing tricks with the rhythm with his baron. He's been a percussionist for years, so he knows all the little ins and outs.
It's as simple as could be. It's a wood frame with a goat skin stretched over it. So it's kind of fun. With drum set, you've got a whole bunch of cymbals, you have a whole bunch of drums. It's real easy to make different sounds. But with the bowron, with just one head, you have to make all the sounds out of that one skin. So it takes some. It's a lot of technique and creativity to kind of make that work.
It's not just keeping the beat, you know, he's really adding a component to the music.
I play different instruments in different songs. The typical tin whistle, the high whistle they call it, it's in the key of D, and I play that in several tunes. Probably most of the tunes I play the high whistle, the high D whistle.
He's been playing a long time, I think since high school or something, and he can just take off on just about anything. He can sight read well. He's a real solid musician for an engineer, you know, because he's also an engineer.
Dave is our technical master. He reads better than anyone. He knows the theory better than anyone. He's kind of our go-to guy.
Really, one of the things I've enjoyed about the group, the Blarnacles as a whole, is just what good musicians they all are. And David especially has just such a strong skill.
It's interesting because before I joined the Blarnacles, I really didn't know much about Celtic music at all, hardly any. I mean, it was interesting to me, and I thought, yeah, I'd try it. And the more I play it, the more I like it. And truthfully, that's something that I could do a lot of work on. And actually, I've learned, and Paul is very good at teaching us things about Celtic music. He's lived Celtic music all his life. That was his dream, to be in a Celtic band.
Celtic music, a lot of people don't know this, but Celtic music isn't limited to Ireland and Scotland. There are Celtic parts of France in Normandy, and also Galicia in Spain. And those are actually traditional Celtic areas. So people in Spain and France play Celtic music too, depending on if they live in that area. And then obviously people mainly associate it with Ireland and with Scotland. But it's music that's meant to be danced to. And that's a funny thing about today's Celtic music. People sit in an audience and listen to the band and don't move, when obviously the music was meant to be played for dancing. So that's been a big change. I mean, people would play Celtic music in a pub or at a party and everybody would be dancing, whereas now we pay money to go and listen to these great bands and just sit there completely without moving. They'd probably be surprised at that. The other component of Celtic music, of course, is singing. And there's a tradition in Celtic music. It's called Old Style, Sean Nos, and that means unaccompanied singing. So people would just sing all by themselves, and they put a lot of little flavorings into their vocals, and they didn't always have to pay too much attention to a strict melody. There was a lot of improvisation used in it. So it was either the Sean Nos singing, unaccompanied singing by yourself, or playing for dancing. And now what we do in our band, and what a lot of bands do, is we have a little bit of both. We have some singing and some strict instrumentals.
He solemnly cursed the Pope, but the strangest turn of the whole concern is only just beginning. He went to hell, but his wife got well, and she's still alive and sinning. For the razor blade was German made, but the rope was Belfast linen.